This video did not exist in your reality until your focus collapsed it into being. You brought this exact transmission into your field because deep down, your soul has been screaming for an explanation. We are going to explore the profound mechanics of the quantum field and the true nature of the observer effect. By the end of our time together today, you will completely understand your hidden power as a divine creator of reality, and you will finally know why you have been feeling so heavy. Tell me, have you ever felt a sudden, crushing sorrow that seemed to drop out of nowhere? A grief that clearly did not belong to your personal life? To understand what is happening to you, we must first look at the invisible architecture of our universe. The quantum field is not just a mathematical concept. It is an infinite ocean of pure potential, a living, breathing web of consciousness, where every past, present, and future possibility exists simultaneously as a wave of probability. In this esoteric understanding, observation is not a passive act of simply looking at things. Observation is the incredibly active, deeply powerful process of creation. When a conscious mind interacts with the field, it forces infinite possibilities to collapse into one single, solid reality. You are that conscious mind, but your interactions go much deeper than you realize. The illusion of personal emotion. Let us begin with that strange, unexplainable sadness that washes over you like a dark tide. You wake up on a seemingly normal Tuesday. The sun is shining, your personal life is relatively stable, yet your chest feels heavy with an ancient grief. You search your mind for a reason, trying to attach this emotion to a memory, a trauma, or a stressor in your daily routine. But what if I told you that this sadness does not belong to you? Society has conditioned us to believe that every emotion we feel is generated strictly within the boundaries of our own brain chemistry and personal experiences. This is a very limited, three-dimensional view of human existence. You have been falsely identifying with emotions that are merely passing through your energy field. You are trying to heal a pain that was never yours to begin with, trapping it within your body by falsely claiming ownership of it. The definition of a quantum empath. You are not just a highly sensitive person. You are what is known as a quantum empath. A traditional empath is understood to feel the emotions of the people in the room with them. But a quantum empath operates on an entirely different level of existence. Your nervous system is fundamentally wired as a highly advanced biological antenna that spans across the quantum field. You do not just feel the people next to you. You feel the undercurrents of the collective human consciousness. You pick up on the subtle, invisible frequencies of the planet itself. When a massive energetic event occurs on a global or even cosmic scale, your body registers it as an emotional fluctuation. You are quite literally translating complex quantum data into human emotion so that it can be processed and released. The mechanics of a timeline shift. Right now, humanity is experiencing something monumental. We are standing at the crossroads of a collective timeline shift. Imagine reality not as a single straight line, but as a massive tree with countless branches. As the collective consciousness of humanity begins to awaken, we are collectively deciding to jump from a lower density branch to a higher, more harmonious branch. This is a timeline shift. It is a massive rerouting of the collective destiny. But this kind of planetary movement requires a tremendous amount of energetic friction. Realities are colliding, overlapping, and separating. As a quantum empath, you are standing with one foot in the old, collapsing world and one foot in the newly emerging Earth. And the tension between these two realities is what you are feeling as profound sadness. The collapse of the wave function. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect dictates that a wave of pure potential remains in a state of limbo until it is observed, at which point it collapses into solid matter. During a collective timeline shift, billions of potential futures are being permanently collapsed and discarded. Entire realities that could have been are being wiped from the cosmic hard drive to make room for the new trajectory. Your soul, operating on a multidimensional level, is deeply aware of this massive collapse. You are subconsciously witnessing the death of infinite possibilities. This process requires an enormous amount of energetic processing, and because you are a sensitive observer, you are serving as a processing node for the universe. The grief of the abandoned timeline. The heavy sadness you are experiencing is quite literally the grief of the abandoned timeline. When humanity shifts to a new trajectory, we leave behind a version of Earth that was filled with its own unique struggles, lessons, and inhabitants. Even if the timeline we are leaving is darker or more chaotic, there is a cosmic mourning that takes place when a reality dissolves back into the void. You are weeping for a version of the world that will never come to pass. You are feeling the echo of fading realities. It is a beautiful, deeply sacred mourning process, but it is incredibly confusing when you try to interpret it through the narrow lens of your personal daily life. The observer effect in collective reality. Let us dive deeper into your role. The observer effect proves that consciousness creates reality. But when millions of people are steeped in fear, anxiety, and lower vibrations, their collective observation anchors in a heavy, restrictive reality. As a quantum empath, your job is to observe the shift without getting pulled into the lower frequencies. When you feel the unexplainable sadness, it is the collective fear trying to pull you back into the old timeline to sustain it. The old reality needs observers to survive. By feeling the sadness, but refusing to attach a personal story to it, you are actively starving the old timeline of the observational energy it desperately needs to maintain its form. Physical symptoms of quantum processing. This deep level of quantum processing takes a massive toll on your physical vessel. You might find yourself feeling utterly exhausted, completely drained of energy, even after a full 9 hours of sleep. You might experience profound brain fog, where your linear, logical mind simply refuses to cooperate. Sudden bouts of tears, a pressure behind your eyes, or a strange ringing in your ears are all highly common physical symptoms. Your biology is trying to upgrade its operating system to handle the massive influx of new frequencies. Your DNA is being recalibrated by the light codes of the new timeline. Do not fight the exhaustion. Your physical body needs maximum rest to safely integrate this profound energetic rewiring. Synchronicity as the field's feedback loop. As you process this timeline shift, the quantum field will not leave you in the dark. It will provide continuous feedback to let you know you are on the right path. This is where synchronicity comes into play. You will begin to see repeating numbers like 1111 or 333 with astonishing regularity. You might think of a highly obscure concept, only to hear a stranger mention it seconds later. These are not mere coincidences. They are mathematical glitches in the matrix, proving that your personal consciousness is seamlessly interacting with the outer fabric of reality. Synchronicity is the universe winking at you, confirming that your observer effect is successfully locking on to the new, higher frequency timeline. The burden of the 1%. You must understand that you are among a very small fraction of the population doing this heavy lifting. You are part of the 1% of awakened souls who volunteered to process the density of the collective. The majority of humanity is walking around completely asleep, reacting to the old timeline, caught in the endless cycles of karma and fear. They cannot process the quantum shift because their nervous systems are not tuned to the right frequency. So the burden falls on the quantum empaths. You are acting as a cosmic water filter, taking in the muddy, dense, emotional water of the collective, running it through your open heart, and releasing it back out as clean, clear light. Disentangling from the collective wave. The key to surviving and thriving during this timeline shift is learning how to disentangle your personal identity from the collective wave. When the heavy sadness hits you, your immediate reaction must change. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" you must learn to ask, "What is moving through me right now?" Visualize yourself as a sturdy rock in the middle of a rushing river. The water is the collective sorrow, the fear of the shifting timelines. The water will rush over you. It will make you wet and cold, but it is not you. You are the rock. Let the sadness flow through your field without clinging to it. Observe it with total neutrality, and it will pass through you in a matter of minutes instead of lingering for days. Upgrading the nervous system. To handle your role as a conscious observer, your nervous system is undergoing a massive biological and energetic upgrade. In the past, feeling the collective pain might have sent you into a spiraling depression. But your body is mutating. Your neural pathways are being rewired to hold more light, more paradox, and more cosmic truth. You might notice that your dietary cravings are changing drastically, pulling you towards lighter, water-rich foods, or completely turning you away from lower-density environments and toxic relationships. This is your nervous system demanding a pristine environment so it can accurately process the quantum data of the new Earth without interference. How thoughts collapse reality on the new timeline. Here is the most vital secret you must grasp about the new timeline we are entering. The manifestation process is speeding up exponentially. On the old density Earth, there was a long buffer time between when you thought of something and when it physically manifested. This protected us from our own chaotic minds. But on the new quantum timeline, the gap between thought and physical collapse is becoming razor thin. The observer effect is instantaneous. This means you can no longer afford the luxury of indulging in prolonged negative thinking or victim mentalities. What you focus on right now will instantly collapse into your physical reality. Your thoughts are literal quantum commands. The role of neutrality and the zero-point field. To master this accelerated manifestation, you must learn to access the zero-point field. This is a state of absolute emotional and mental neutrality. It is the eye of the hurricane. When the collective timeline shift creates chaos and sadness around you, stepping into the zero-point field allows you to become completely untethered from the drama. In this state of pure nothingness, you are no longer reacting to the dying world. You are calmly writing the code for the new one. The sadness cannot touch you here. It is in this void of neutrality that your true power as a quantum creator is activated. You stop being a victim of the shift and become the architect of it. Déjà vu as timelines bleeding together. As you navigate this transition, you will likely experience intense and frequent episodes of déjà vu. You will walk into a room and feel with absolute certainty that you have lived this exact moment before. In the context of quantum jumping, déjà vu is not a misfire of the brain. It is the direct result of timelines bleeding together. It happens when the version of you on the new timeline momentarily intersects with a version of you on a parallel timeline. It is a signpost indicating that you are successfully merging your multidimensional selves into one cohesive, awakened avatar. When it happens, do not brush it off. Pause, take a deep breath, and acknowledge that you are navigating the quantum field. The power of focused emotion in the observer effect. While you are releasing the unexplainable sadness of the collective, you must begin intentionally utilizing your own emotional power. As a quantum empath, your emotions are your superpower. Science tells us that thought sends the electrical signal out into the quantum field, but emotion is the magnetic force that draws the matched reality back to you. Your ability to feel things so deeply is exactly what makes you a master manifester. Once you clear the collective grief from your system, you must intentionally generate feelings of overwhelming gratitude, joy, and freedom. When an empath focuses a positive emotion, it sends a massive shockwave through the field, collapsing beautiful realities at lightning speed. Shielding the quantum aura. You cannot perform this sacred work if your energy field is full of holes. You must become ruthless about protecting your quantum aura. The unexplainable sadness often sneaks in through energetic tears caused by poor boundaries, excessive consumption of negative news, or engaging with people who drain your life force. Shielding is not about building walls out of fear. It is about maintaining a sovereign, coherent frequency. Visualize a brilliant, impenetrable sphere of crystalline light surrounding your body. Declare out loud that your field is a sovereign zone, and that only frequencies matching your highest evolution are permitted to enter. This simple act of conscious observation instantly fortifies your quantum shield. Your role as an anchor for the new reality. You might wonder why you had to be the one to feel so deeply, why you had to be the strange one, the outsider, the sensitive one. It is because the universe needed anchors for the new reality. Think of the new timeline as a massive ship trying to dock in a harbor during a severe storm. It needs heavy, stable anchors on the shore to secure the ropes. Your physical body, your awakened consciousness, and your deep, open heart are the anchors. By standing firm in your truth while the emotional storms of the collective rage around you, you are literally holding the new earth in place so that others can eventually find their way to it. Your existence is a monumental act of service. Transforming sadness into creative power. The alchemy of the quantum empath is the ability to turn the lead of collective sorrow into the gold of pure creative power. When the wave of unexplained sadness hits you, sit in the center of it. Do not run from it. Breathe into the center of the pain and consciously apply the light of your awareness to it. As you observe the sadness without judgment, the wave function collapses and the dense energy breaks apart. What is left behind is raw, unassigned quantum energy. You can then take that freed-up energy and direct it toward your own dreams. You literally recycle the sorrow of the dying world to fuel the creation of your beautiful new life. The shift from passive receiver to conscious creator. This is the moment in your spiritual evolution where you must make a definitive choice. You can no longer afford to be a passive receiver, blowing in the wind of collective emotions, constantly burdened by the sadness of the world. You must step fully into the role of the conscious creator. You must realize that the observer effect works in both directions. Yes, you can observe the pain and feel it, but you can also choose to observe the infinite love, the boundless abundance, and the profound magic of the universe, and pull that into physical reality. Take the steering wheel of your consciousness. Decide today that you will no longer be a sponge for the dark, but a lighthouse for the dawn. Embracing the identity of the quantum empath. Wear your sensitivity like a badge of cosmic honor. The sadness you felt was never a weakness. It was the growing pains of a God awakening inside a human body. You are a master of the quantum field. You are the vanguard of human evolution. Every time you process an unexplained sorrow and return to a state of love, you pull the entire human race 1 millimeter closer to the light. Trust your intuition. Trust the visions you have for your life. The reality you secretly dream of is not a fantasy. It is a memory from a future timeline that you are currently collapsing into the present moment. You are doing exactly what you came here to do. Listen to me very carefully. You are not in reality. You are reality, observing itself, shifting itself, and rebirthing itself through the beautiful, sensitive vessel of your physical body. The unexplainable sadness was just the friction of the timeline shift. You are a quantum empath, and you are the creator of your entire experience. I want to thank you for your courage to feel, to observe, and to anchor the light for the rest of humanity. If this transmission brought you clarity, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and to permanently lock in this new frequency, write in the comments, I am the observer creating my reality. I want to know about your journey. What strange signs or synchronicities have you noticed in your life recently as this timeline shift accelerates?